Hey, I'm Alex Rock from Board Game Co. and I finally get to go ahead and show you UK Games Expo. Now, I only have 15 minutes before the hall opens, so we'll see how much footage we can get in before it's just a crazy madhouse. And honestly, I'm not necessarily sure I'm going to be focusing too much on any one specific game. I guess if I see them whatnot, for example, here's Rove. But it's more about, I just want to show you what the hall is. Come to UKGE, I want to show you the layout and all those things. Unfortunately, they decided not to run trains today, so what was supposed to be a solid hour in the hall before everyone gets in turned into 15 minutes. So right now, this is Hall 4. Over here, everything you see here is Hall 4. I'm just walking out of 3 and 3A, which I mentioned in some other video. Actually, I don't know if I'll be in a video. Basically, the structure here is a little crazy. They have 3, 3A, 4, and 2. And the worst part is, even just the ordering is it goes from 2 to 3 to 3A, okay? Which, the whole thing, I think I'm right about that. It might even be the other way around. Honestly, I can't keep track of which one's which. And then they have 4. So, you know, you'd think they'd have 2, 3, 4, 5, or anything like that, but hey, they split it up the way they want to split it up. But anyways, over here we have CGE. CGE has Codenames Critical Role. They have Wispwood, SETI, Drillers, which is one that I've been wanting to try out but have not done so. Today is actually my quote-unquote free day. I say free day loosely, but it's been mostly meetings, both Board Game Co and GameFound, for the first few days. And today is really when I get an opportunity to, in the last 3 hours of the convention, is when I'll have a chance to actually get more stuff done. More stuff meaning just browsing the hall, having fun, not worrying about not worrying about having to have a meeting every half hour. Don't get me wrong, I love meetings and so much gets done, both productive, fun, social, all those things. But sometimes it's nice to just browse the hall. In fact, part of the reason I'm starting at Hall 4 is because Hall 4 is what I've seen the least of so far. This is Warhammer stuff. My son would love me to bring him home with more Warhammer anytime I go to any convention, but we don't play Warhammer. He just thinks the miniatures are top notch. So I guess when they're charging their Games Workshop Premium, he's a fan of that. This over here, Carooka, fantastic game. This is UK where I believe the company started or whatnot. I have a Tracy board personally because Jeremy Tracy from Tracy Crokinole, he makes the boards in the US. So I have that, you may have seen it on the channel. But Carooka is actually fantastic. I met them the other night at the demo, the media demo night. I had a chance to meet them for the first time, which is lovely. Over here we have Bad Crow Games. Bad Crow Games, they go all out with their, speaking of things my kids love, one of my sons loves Army Men. I'm gonna have to get a photo later before the day's over because he is gonna want to see me near Army gear. But like this kind of stuff over here, these games, this has like, it's a huge tabletop war game presence. It's Memoir 44, if Memoir 44 were actually tactical and not multiple rounds of luck. I recognize there's a huge Memoir 44 fan base out there. I'm not in it, I apologize. Memoir 44 to me is luck as to where you can actually go, followed by luck as to what you roll. I can deal with one of those two lucks, both together, and I just feel like I don't have the agency I want. I recognize that if you're a Memoir 44 fan, you can tell me about how you get the agency you want, and I'm happy for you. I don't get the agency I want. But anyways, I actually haven't played the game, but I've heard incredible things about it. I think it's rated an 8.8, 8.9 on Board Game Geek, which is an insane rating to have with the volume they have. Like, it's not like they have no ratings. They have a good amount of ratings, and they still have that kind of thing. Over here we have Asmodee. I don't know what's in this booth in particular. It looks like they have some Star Wars Unlimited, got a little bit of Darth Maul. I have not watched the new show yet. I absolutely want to. But also what I really want to see, there's Moose Publishing, maybe I'll head over there. What I really want to see is they had 4 Shuffle, the new one, whatever it's called. I can't remember the name, but I saw Convray was playing that, and that is now my main goal. Over here we have Mood Publishing. They just did Hitman the board game. They've done Goat Simulator, Deep Rock Galactic, Valheim the board game. I thought I said the card game for a second. This over here is Valheim, based on the survival game, which is another game that my sons want me to play. Most of this show revolves around what my kids want me to be playing with. But they have tons of, date miniature games, IP based for the most part. We also have Zombicide over here, speaking of Asmodee. They have an entire, Marvel Crisis Protocol, Zombicide 2nd Edition. They have, Star Wars Legion. From those, I'm primarily interested in Zombicide. It is an interesting grouping, honestly, the way they group those up. Because they have them grouped, and this is all just Hall 4, generally just what they have. Oh, over here, I need to check out Star Trek Space Hunt. Star Trek Space Hunt is basically based on, what's it called? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name. The AllPlay, Captain Sonar. It's Captain Sonar with the Star Trek theme. So I have to check that out as well. But what was I saying? Yeah, it was just a choice that they had Zombicide kind of paired up with a bunch of miniature war games, not miniature war games, like actual miniature game, and they had a board game that has miniatures paired up with it. So that's Hall 4. You've just seen a good chunk of Hall 4. Keeping in mind that Hall 4 is the smallest hall. Now we're entering into 3A. Again, it goes 3, then 3A, which I guess if 3, the non-3A, like make it 3A and 3B. I get that you don't have control over the halls. Hall 3 is a bigger hall. Divide into 3A and 3B. The 3 to 3A drives me crazy. Anyways, walking along the outer edge over here. Outer edge is where you have some of the food markets. With coffee, I personally do not recommend. I reluctantly recommend the Starbucks in the NEC, the NEC being the center that they have. And I don't recommend Starbucks in general. But the only better coffee I've had in Birmingham, personally, has not been here. But we have lots of these fun little, like, little Bathcraft bombs. Kind of looks like buzz balls, but buzz balls don't drink the content. It's probably poisonous and will kill you. It's not meant to be a food item. Actually, they're probably not. I'm wondering, maybe they make food items, but I don't imagine they do. But 3A over here, this is where we're gonna have, like, on the edges is generally we have a lot more of the more artist things, and the more you move to the center, the more you have board games. You can see StarCraft that's there. I assume that's going to be, not assume, that's going to be Archon. I know that, because I know who makes StarCraft. I actually have not seen the Archon booth yet, so we're kind of just wandering around. We got weapons, which I always love to check out, because again, keynote about my kids liking weapons. But I can't get these back because this is too much, luggage space, or carrying a giant sword on the plane, foam or not, doesn't get you the best reception. But again, that's what Origins is for. Origins Game Fair coming up pretty shortly, and I plan on, checking that out. We have over here, let's see, we got more stores, more Magic the Gathering, giant Pokemon cards. Those prints are pretty cool. But then we have Archon over here. Archon has their giant booth set up with all the miniatures. Archon, again, is a fascinating company for me. Was it StarCraft? Is it StarCraft? Like, the quality of the miniatures is pretty solid over here. Like, the paint job is incredible. The details, like, I have no interest in tabletop war games, but over here, I am interested in these things. Over here, Master of the Universe, they have the painted model, giant ship. They've really leaned into what they do, like the miniatures and all that. They've done a tremendous job. They have, like, such a fascinating arc as a company, because for a long time they had not the best reputation. They had great miniatures, but their board games weren't really recommended that much. And then more and more over time, they've really changed as far as what they produce and have really developed a name for themselves. And I think whenever a company manages to power past a previous reputation, that's always a big thing for me. We have Luthier over here, from Paverson Games. They also have Ringo set up. Ringo is going, so that's going to be the upcoming crowdfunding campaign. And they have some other things coming. They have Distilled. This is a work in progress name. It's not actually what you can expect it to be called, but basically it's a shorter, more accessible version of Distilled. And then around the corner they have Class of 89. So Class of 89, which will be, take a look over here. This is there's going to be a straight to retail, direct to retail release, is what they have over here. And I hope to be trying this. I believe it's going to be an SN release, if I'm not mistaken. So different theme, I don't want to say lighter. I haven't played it yet. I've seen a general overview of it. It looks fun, but we'll see. What else do we have? So again, we're just kind of going through Hall 3A for the most part. So we're gonna see what else we got. We got a Hobbit hole. Oh my gosh, Asmodee, I haven't even seen this. I have to get photos. I have not seen this. You see, again, this is the problem. This is day 3 of the fair. I haven't seen half of the fair. And this is the Hobbit hole. Look at that. That's delightful. It's absolutely delightful. They have a giant Hobbit hole door for, like, Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers trick-taking game. They also have Circle of Conflict coming up. So all the Lord of the Rings IP stuff in there. Obviously, except for this Duel. So overall, it's fantastic. I knew we got a photo by the Hobbit hole. I did not realize I had it there. I've not actually been by. No, at one time in my life, I was by a Hobbit hole door. There's a craft show in Cleveland. I assume it still goes on. I haven't gone in years. That they had a Hobbit hole door once upon a time. I have photos somewhere in my album of that. But again, the thing I want to check out, they have Lord of the Rings, the Confrontation there, so they have more preview things. Where's the game I want? I wonder if it's in here, because this is the preview area. So we have Giants, we have Gunsen, the battle for the Tashirambo. We have, where is it? It's not over here. I'm hoping to find it. It's basically the new 4 Shuffle, but I don't see it around. I'll have to go check it out later. Although we do have Citadel's Duel, which I do want to check out as well. Anyways, let's see how we're doing in Hall 3. We're kind of making our way partially through 3A. We're near the beginning of 3A. Again, just to give you a general idea, this over here, all of this is all 3A. And we're about to cross the line. You can see it down the floor. That's 3A155. It's a Taskmaster booth, interestingly enough. But now I'm going to go ahead and curve the corner and get into the keeping in mind, by the way, we are down to 6 minutes before the hall opens and before the volume. If you think the background noise now is bad, it's going to get a whole lot worse as soon as people swarm into the hall for what is the last day of the show. I do wonder, the trains being down, I wonder how people actually affects. No idea. We have Lorescape over here. It's a fantastic 3D terrain system. They did a Kickstarter campaign a while ago. Looks like they have another one coming shortly, it looks like, mid-June. But this is just tons of different terrain. If you like your terrain, if you like your miniatures, it's going to have you covered over there. Yeah, half of this stuff I've seen, the other half I have not. So I'm making most of this up as I go along. You have more Asmodee. Maybe the preview stuff is over here. At this point, I'm just on a hunt for 4 Shuffle. That's all I care about at this point. That's all I want. They have like multiple booths set up across the hall, so it's like it's a challenge to actually find the thing you want. We got Free League, but I'm not a huge RPG player, so that is to say nothing against them. Great company. We have Hoxfall. So Hoxfall, this one I actually had a chance to play. This is one of the few games I've played while here from Taboo. It's probably the most Zombicide adjacent from what they've done, which if you know me, means it's probably the most interested from the games that they've put out so far. So I am intrigued. A big thing is, the biggest challenge I have with Taboo is consistently when I play their games, I'm often playing the tutorial versions of their games first before I can dive into and see more of it. So because of that, I often get the kind of the bare bones entryway of it, and I don't get to see the depth of the experience. That said, it was probably my favorite on-rails tutorial that I've played so far, and I want to dive into it more and see the depth. Once you get past the tutorial, I want to see that. Again, it's a challenge because I often play the games as prototypes, which means we're getting the first iteration. But we have Titan Forge over here. Titan Forge has a bunch of games that they've done, and that's why I think they do board games too, I want to say, but I'm seeing mostly miniatures things that are not that board games. But I'm 99% sure Titan Forge does board games. Either that or I'm confusing with another company. Anyways, what do we have? Okay, we have this company over here. Rogue Regiment, SAS Rogue Regiment is a game that I still want to play. It's been way too long and I have not played my copy. Backed it on crowdfunding a long time ago. Have it, and I need to play it. They also have Heroes of the Pacific, which I think they've taken under their umbrella. That was Double P Games, or maybe the distributor. Not entirely sure. We have now crossed, by the way. We're now into Hall 3. So at this point, Hall 3 and Hall 3A are basically one giant hall that for some reason they distinguish the numbering system to change it and make it confusing, which I keep thinking of. We have 10B over here, well, Mighty Boys over here. Mighty Boys, and more specifically, Yotai. Yotai is one that I'm very interested in. I actually tried picking this up at Essen last year, but they were not selling it because they had sold out. And then, of course, they picked it up and then had a crowdfunding campaign. I believe it's either active now or just finished. I don't exactly remember. But that is what they have from Mighty Boys. They have a few things that 10B. I haven't played 10B or Yotai. So both they're smaller, lighter. Mighty Boys is fascinating as a company because they kind of have these bigger box experiences, but over time, it's shifted to having lighter, more accessible stuff. And between things like that, between Rebirth, between Art Society, they've really leaned into a slightly different niche than what they originally had. But it's working out well for them, so I'm happy overall. And of course, they do more of the games. I'm going to turn down here because again, we got more artist stuff on the outer edges. Definitely some games definitely some booths that are more game focused. But if I'm trying to be economical with the 2 minutes I have left, this video might go for longer than 2 minutes, but it's going to be 2 minutes until the noise and people make it clear that I can't properly, do this. We have some Everdell content over here. Let's head down this way. Everdell has both Emerald as well as they have Journeys out right now. So this is the whole Everdell wall, basically. Just tons of Everdell content. Journeys is a very solid game. I'll have content on it later. But basically Journeys is, it's in the Everdell world, but it's not the same as Everdell. So it works. It's not the exact repetition. Emerald is one of the better Everdells in my opinion. I was just in a weird place when I covered it, where I'm still in that weird place, which is, okay, let's give us something new. Let's do something that's not just another Everdell every year. Granted, the same problem exists with Zombicide, but also my same criticisms exist. Once you do the same system every year, I'm just trying to pick the best iteration and version of that system, and I'm no longer as impressed or enthused with the system. And Zombicide does benefit from the toy factor when they do that. Like, these are all these rules full of miniatures that change the conversation. This is our 1 minute warning. Oh no, the halls are now open. They are 2 minutes ahead of me. Druids of Adora is absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend Druids of Adora. Great game. One of my favorite Stefan Feld games in years. And then we have Lorcana, Attack of the Vine. I did not know the newest Lorcana set. The Great Honey Rescue. Oh my gosh. They have, releases October 2nd. So this is actually a preview But that looks like their newest co-op adventure, which does look great. I am not a Winnie the Pooh fan, but despite myself, that looks amazing. I'm not against Winnie the Pooh, I just don't care for Winnie the Pooh. Alright, so if we head this way, we might go stay ahead of the noise for another 2 minutes. Although, actually, this is a great time for our channel sponsor. AllPlay is a channel sponsor. If you go to allplay.com, you can find a variety of games for a variety of publishers, all for a low flat price, depending on where you live. That flat price will vary, but check that out. But I'm doing that because they have AllPlay here. Now, they don't yet have Enchanted Ivy, which is the game I am currently obsessed with, but they do have some of the new ones. They have Golden Goal, Le Chocolat. What else do they have that's new? They have Grunt's Triangulation. Highly recommend both of those. Container, I have not yet played. It's on my list. So they have, like, you know, all the booths and the showcasing. So if you want all play games, people are running. People are running. This is where it gets crazy. They're like, I gotta get in line. I gotta get the game. It's a madhouse of thing. I wonder what game they're in. I do wonder what game. Like, what game has people charging for the halls? We have Terraria, new expansion coming soon. It's the first time I'm hearing of that. But they also have not Terraria. They have the other thing. What do they have? They have Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb. They have this, which looks fantastic. I have not actually seen this properly set up. Bridge or Bust. This feels like an insane system. It's based on it's got to be based on like those video games. I don't know. This feels crazy. Toy factor high, gameplay possibly not as much my jam. This, by the way, we have now moved. I should have told you. We've moved from 3 over there. That's where we have 3 and 3A, and we've now moved to Hall 2. This over here, what you see, is Hall 2. Hall 2 is decently sized. I'd say it's about par with 3 and 3A. 4 being the smaller hall, and 3 and 3A just being subdivided. But that's kind of where we go. At this point, I think the halls are getting a little too crazy for me to reliably show you that much more. This has been a light UK Games Expo tour. Next year, I hope to do better. Also next year, I hope to not. Long story short, Friday I slept in because of the plane and catching up on sleep. And then Sunday, the trains were down. So between the two, I got you late on the coverage. Anyways, this will go up sometime this week. It's not really going to be helpful for people who are looking for things at UK Games Expo. This is more intended as like, hey, if you haven't been to UK Games Expo, you want to get a sense of the similarities or differences to other conventions. Hopefully this gave you a light touring of shows. Until next time, I'm Alex from Board Game Co. If you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.